पाकिस्तान हासिल करने के लिए हमने बहुत कुर्बानी की है, मगर हमें पाकिस्तान को कायम रखने के लिए अभी और कुर्बानी करना होगी। मुसलमान मुसीबत में घबराया नहीं करता। हमारे हौसले बुलंद हैं।
The story of the evolution of the armed forces of Pakistan is the story of the birth of Pakistan itself against heavy odds. The army was pressed into action directly at the time of our independence. Pakistan Army, though they present a formidable strength today, made a humble beginning, virtually starting from a scratch. Post-partition, the military assets of British India were unjustly divided in a ratio of 64 to 36% between India and Pakistan. Unfortunately, Indian spitefulness resulted in Pakistan receiving only a fraction of its original share, and that too in a dilapidated state. Pakistan Army had its baptism under fire just after its inception, after the fraudulent accession of Kashmir by Maharaja Hari Singh on 27 October 1947. Mountbatten and Nehru air-launched the Indian Army into the Srinagar Valley. The Indian Army's offensive was halted at the ceasefire line, now line of control by Pakistan Army. Kashmir remains an unresolved issue between Pakistan and India, despite the UN resolution seeking the mandate of the people of Kashmir to join either Pakistan or India. Despite his frail condition and failing health, Quaid-e-azam visited establishments of all three services. Owing to the Quaid's exhortations, Pakistan Army made a sound start despite the early teething problems due to unequal distribution of assets. Our founding fathers made prudent decisions, which Pakistan on the road to development. The enthusiasm and spirit of the people and Pakistan Army in the 1965 war proved to be the finest hour for Pakistan. Pakistan Army proved their mettle against a vastly superior force and stopped it in its tracks. Pakistan's valiant sons stood united as one solid edifice to defend their motherland. The trailblazing acts of valor set the standards for generations to follow. The arms embargo on Pakistan following the 1965 war made it strive for self-reliance and diversify its sources. (1971) was the most tragic year in the history of Pakistan, and its armed forces bore the brunt of it. The war in 1971 was forced on Pakistan and resulted in the dismemberment of its eastern wing, but gave it a new resolve to work hard and stand on its own feet. The Pakistan Ordnance Factory, which was established in 1951 at Wah Cantonment near Rawalpindi to produce small arms, ammunition and explosives, was modernized and expanded to meet the challenges of modern armed forces. The blueprint for heavy mechanical complex at Taxila as an arms rebuilding factory was also laid. Heavy Industries Taxila provided facilities for overhaul, rebuild and progressive manufacture of main battle tanks. Armored recovery vehicles, armored personnel carriers, guns and production of MBT-2000 Al-Khalid and Al-Zarar tank. In addition, it has the capability to rebuild, upgrade and modernize armored vehicles of both Eastern and Western origin. The road to development, self-reliance and indigenization has enabled Pakistan to develop its own missiles, tanks, armored personnel carriers, submarines, ships and aircraft. The acquisition of modern weapons and equipment in Pakistan Army, along with its indigenous production of combat arms and ammunition, proved to be a major source of motivation for the troops to meet any challenge to Pakistan's sovereignty. After the success of its major developments in the defense industry, the Defense Export Promotion Organization (DEPO) was created to promote Pakistani defense equipment to the world by inviting major and small players to the Ideas exhibition, which is held annually at the Karachi Expo Center. Military training system in Pakistan is comprehensive and has a well-defined structure. Pakistan Military Academy Kakul is the principal cradle of leadership for officer training for the Army. Besides other professional training institutions, Staff College Quetta and National Defense University prepare the officer cadre to face future challenges. Through their portals pass thousands of officers who are molded from an inchoate mass into magnificent leaders, imbibed with fighting spirit, conviction in their national cause, unflinching and selfless devotion to duty. Pakistan Army provides equal opportunities to women who now proudly serve alongside men to take up the challenges of defending their nation. Since 1960, Pakistan Army has been actively participating in the UN multinational efforts to maintain peace and order around the globe. Its contribution to UN peacekeeping has been as wide-ranging as the varied cultural, geographic, political and security conditions in which it had to operate. Congo, West Irian, Somalia, New Guinea, Cambodia, East Timor, Slovenia, Haiti, Bosnia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Kuwait, and Yemen are to name just a few. The humble contribution it has made in this regard bespeaks its desire to see the principles of human dignity, freedom, and self-determination applied to all the people struggling to secure their inalienable basic rights. Conflict at Siachen, the world's highest battleground, is embedded in the unresolved Kashmir dispute. On April 13, 1984, Indian Army committed aggression and occupied positions overlooking key passes in the Saltoro Range. Pakistan Army rushed its troops to stop further advancement of the Indian troops. Since then, both armies face each other, combating the harsh, brutal weather as well as each other. Kargil was not a one-off operation, but the latest in a series of moves and countermoves at a tactical level by India and Pakistan along the line of control in the inaccessible snow-bounded northern areas. Indians had been creeping forward across the line of control even after the Shimla Agreement. The Kashmiri freedom-fighting Mujahideen occupied the Kargil heights that the Indian Army had vacated for the winter. The Indians brought 4 regular divisions into the area, along with a heavy concentration of artillery. The Kargil operation was a landmark in the history of Pakistan Army. As few as 5 battalions in support of freedom fighter groups were able to compel the Indians to employ a large number of formations. Our nation remains proud of its commanders and troops, whose grit and determination was obvious and unquestionable. Pakistan's missile program is indigenous and has a wide array of weapon systems in its missile arsenal, which range from the short-range Hatf to the medium-range Abdali, Ghaznavi, and Shaheen, and the long-range Ghori and Shaheen II. Pakistan has successfully tested its indigenous cruise missile, Babur, which can be launched from ground, air, and sea platforms, including submarines. In May 1998, India carried out its second nuclear tests at Pokhran after the first in 1974 and became highly belligerent. Its saber-rattling forced Pakistan to come out of the nuclear closet and conduct tests of its own, declaring to the world that it possessed nuclear weapons for its defense and deterrence of warmongers, but it harbors no aggressive designs against anyone. In December 2001, taking advantage of the international environment, India carried out massive deployment along its border with Pakistan to coerce Pakistan to regress on the Kashmir issue and accept Indian hegemony. Pakistan's response was swift and timely. Due to superior strategy and national resolve, in response, India had to retreat and withdraw its forces unconditionally. Pakistan Army has borne the brunt of the international war against terrorism and has paid a heavy price in the loss of precious lives through retaliation to its strong and decisive action against terrorism and extremism. Pakistan Army and the nation are firm in their resolve to root out terrorism and are playing a major role in the efforts to counter the menace and making Pakistan a safe and secure land for its citizens, where people from every walk of life, religion, and creed dwell in peace and harmony. The Army has played a major role in improving the socio-economic conditions of the tribal belt and Balochistan, and has uplifted them through a sustained focus on its human resource development, education, health, communication infrastructure, and poverty reduction. Pakistan Army has always responded to any calamity, natural or man-made, to help not only Pakistanis in distress, but humanity worldwide. Whether it was the massive earthquake that caused havoc and devastation in Kashmir and northern areas of Pakistan, the tsunami in Far East or cyclone in Bangladesh, Pakistan Army has responded with all its strength and missionary zeal to aid mankind. Contribution towards national development by the Pakistan Army has not been confined to the defense sector. Pakistan Armed Forces in general and Pakistan Army in particular have contributed to building roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, and other basic amenities. The Karakoram Highway is a clear example of a daring feat of construction in one of the most treacherous terrains of the world. Rehabilitation of the Sakhar Barrage was a challenging task, which the engineers of Pakistan Army successfully accomplished. Pakistan Army has never demurred from lending a helping hand whenever asked to do so. It has performed multifarious tasks in the aid of civil power whenever the occasion arose, whether it was duties during census or elections, anti-dacoit actions, and evacuation of flood, fire, or train accident victims. Its cantonments provide sanctity and security, along with job opportunities and basic amenities like education, medical, and sports facilities to local civilians residing in the vicinity. Pakistan Army's organizations like SCO, FWO, and NLC play a major role in providing logistics and laying the communication infrastructure in the most demanding of terrains. Sports and Pakistan Army go hand in hand, since the armed forces remain fit and pay a lot of emphasis on physical activities. They are the backbone of every physical sport in the country. From providing the infrastructure for sports facilities to participants and sponsors, the contribution of the armed forces in the field of sports and bringing glory to Pakistan in national and international events is unparalleled.
Gold medal goes to Malik of Pakistan.
Settling for the
During the last 60 years, Pakistan Army has evolved into a highly motivated, modern, and professional force defending the geographical frontiers of Pakistan. Equipped with the state-of-the-art weapon systems, organized under sound structures, and supported by battle-tested doctrines, it stands alert to serve Pakistan both in peace and war, to deter and combat any enemy, within and without, never being reluctant even to make the supreme sacrifice of their lives. The Shaheeds and recipients of Pakistan's highest military award for valor, Nishan-e-Haider, have emblazoned a golden chapter in the annals of Pakistan's history and set standards for future generations to follow. During the last 6 decades of Pakistan's existence, the defenders of Pakistan have withstood multifarious challenges and tests of time. Backed by the people of Pakistan, its army always rose to the occasion, be it guarding the frontiers in war, protecting the lives of people in various calamities, rendering services for nation building, purging the society of extremism, terrorism, or service to humanity in various UN missions. The Pakistan Army makes the nation proud of its service with honor, dignity, dedication, and commitment.